Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to a new video on East Coast Manga. So today we have a special video. This is going to be pretty fun. It's also going to be very difficult, but we have a new challenge that's on YouTube. This is a challenge that some of you guys may be familiar with if you're on Instagram and on Manga Instagram, but this is manga recommendations bingo style. So as you see, I'm going to edit the board right over here and I'll do the whole setup. So this game was actually brought onto YouTube by MangaZ-Chan. So big shout out to her. She chose me to kind of carry this on. So the rules for this are pretty simple. So we have a board over here and the board has all the genres on, or a bunch of genres. And I'm going to be picking out of this hat right here. I cut out all the genres and I'll be picking them out randomly. She gave herself 10 seconds to think of a title. I might give myself 15 only because I haven't read quite as much as she has, so I might need a little extra time. But basically you want to limit yourself, so really the first thing that comes to mind you want to get and not try to be too biased. The other rule is as soon as I have 5 in a row or a straight row, whether it's horizontal, diagonal, or vertical, that's when the game will end. Now, some of these genres are going to be pretty tough, and I know at least 2 of them I definitely don't have anything for. So those are going to be hopefully something I don't pick out. And the only other rule is at the end, I just have to pick out 3 people to continue this game, and yeah, hopefully we can get this going. Alrighty, so pick the first one. I haven't seen it yet. Gonna start my timer. 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. We have Yahweh. Wow, big X to start this off. I don't have any, so great start. Alrighty, next one. Start the timer. We have drama. Ooh, drama. I'm gonna have to go with B-stars. I think B-stars. So maybe what I forgot to mention also is this is a manga recommendation video, so I am gonna be recommending the manga that I pick out. It's not gonna just be, bad titles. It's gonna be stuff I read and stuff that I enjoyed. So like I said, B-stars, I think B-stars is actually a really, really good manga, and I feel like a lot of people have been opening themselves up to it lately, so that's really, really fun. Yeah, I'm up to volume 7. I just got the new volume in. I know a lot of you guys already know about this, but this is a really fantastic manga that focuses on a world where you have herbivores and carnivores, and this focuses on Legoshi, who's a gray wolf, big gray wolf, and kind of high school, but also it gets into world building. And I said it's a drama because there are some relationship dramas, there is some conflicts and stuff. It's not like a slice of life, but it has slice of life elements in it. But yeah, a lot of you guys already know about this, so yeah, I definitely check this out. Alright, so we got our first one done. Let's move on. So we have our next one. Keep it closed. Start the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. We have sci-fi, science fiction. I feel like a lot of stuff can be put into this. I'm gonna have to go with, let's go One Punch Man. So I don't think this is a reach. I think this is pretty science fiction-y. You got aliens that come down and stuff like that, but for anyone who doesn't already know about this, this is a fantastic manga, and it was going to find its way on this list no matter what. But I absolutely recommend this for anyone who's starting a collection, or obviously anyone who doesn't have this yet. But I think it's definitely really good for anyone who is just getting into manga and wants a fun, action, different story. That's what I'd call this. And as the title describes, it's a superhero who can kill anyone with one punch. And the artwork is amazing. The story's really, really interesting for a concept that you might think is, oh, like how can they make that interesting? They do. So absolutely recommend One Punch Man. Alright, so we got another one, although it doesn't really help us at the moment. Let's move on. Grab the hat. Alrighty, let's see what we get. Next one. We start my timer. Alright, so next one, 3, 2, 1, go. We have Mecha. Alright, so this is a series or a genre I don't have much of. I did just get Bokurano, but I haven't read it yet. So we have hold on. Alright, I froze up and struggled with the name. I'm still going to give myself this one because I knew what I was talking about. I just couldn't get it all out. But All You Need Is Kill. That is the closest thing to Mecha I think I have in my collection. But this is a piece I've already recommended. A lot of people own. It's a one-shot, not one-shot, but I think there's probably 2 or 3 volumes in this. But this is all that's out. This is all that's released. This is the story right here. But this also got adapted. I think it has a light novel that got put into a manga, and then, you know, one of those two got adapted into the movie that Tom Cruise is in, Edge of Tomorrow, I believe it is. But essentially it's about this war between humans and these like alien creatures, and we focus on one of our main characters who, similar to Groundhog Day, dies over and over and over and has to like learn and adapt from it. You know, obviously he doesn't know why he keeps dying at the beginning and waking up, but definitely a really nice piece to have in your collection. Like I said, a lot of people already have it, but it's also, the art was done by Takeshi Obata, who did the art in Death Note, so you know the art's gonna be fantastic in this too. Alright, we're starting to make some progress now. Next one up. Let's see, start the timer. Oh, actually, hold on. Full start. 3, 2, 1. We have romance. I'm gonna have to go with I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. I think that's a really good romance. Now, of course, I have the manga version of this. There is also a light novel, and there is a movie. I think it's on Netflix. But if it's not on Netflix, it's definitely available to watch. But this is a really good manga. It focuses on I believe 2 high schoolers, and the female high schooler has pancreatic cancer, but it's very sad, don't get me wrong, but there's a really good twist towards the end of this manga. It's not fully predictable, which I think is what really made me like this manga and recommend it to people. If it was just very straightforward, I probably wouldn't recommend it, just because, like, a sad story that you already know like what's gonna happen and whatever, I'm just not really too interested. But I thought the twist in this manga was really fantastic, and I absolutely recommend this, whether you buy or watch any version of it. And as much as it was sad, it was also really funny at times. It's just, I don't know, it definitely brings that array of emotions. Alright, we're making some progress. So next one up, we have, let me set my timer before I look at it. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Suspense. What leaves me in a state of suspense while I'm reading it? Got it. Real account. This manga right here always leaves me on edge. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what games are coming through. But let me explain this manga for a little bit. So basically, I think I've already released a video for some of you guys. So this is essentially, I think I called it like a Twitter death game or Instagram death game. Basically, these people who have real accounts, which is a social media, I think they start with 1,000. 1,000 people basically pass out in real life, and they enter into this game world. And it's hosted by, the host kind of reminds me of the teacher from Assassination Classroom, but basically this almighty, all-powerful host who is very funny and very creepy. But essentially, if they die in the game, they die in real life, but it's also unique because you have to have more than one follower to live. If your follower count drops down to 0, you also die. But if you die and you have followers, all of those followers also die. Hopefully I didn't make that too complicated, but essentially it's this battle royale type manga, and I really enjoy it. Alrighty, so Suspense lifted us a little off course, but let's see what we get with the next one. Alright, pulled it. Got 2, pulled it out. Start, 3, 2, 1. We have psychological. Got it. No Longer Human by Junji Ito. So this is Junji Ito's No Longer Human. This takes a psychological toll on you. It's basically what it means to be human, and our main character just has severe anxiety and mixed with a bunch of other things, and he tries to associate like what being human is and what happiness is. It is my #1 pick if you want a crazy psychological manga. Alrighty, next pick up we have, set the timer, we have sports. Okay, so Ice Shield 21. So with this manga, why I recommend this manga? Well, first of all, I love American football, US football, but also this one volume, plus with, I did watch some of the anime, but this one volume, it's action-packed, and I've heard fantastic things. A lot of people really like this series. So I do have volume 1. I'm hoping to get more of the series, but this focuses on this student who decides to join the football team, and he's not like outstanding looking, he's not huge, he's not, he doesn't look super fast or anything, but when he's given the ball on kind of this like freak situation, he finds out that he's really fast and really talented at playing football. So some would say it kind of is a little similar to a Haikyuu situation, but I know a lot of people already know about Haikyuu as of recent, and I know iShield 21 is really popular, but not a lot of people talk about it these days because it is a little older, some of the prints. So for sports manga, I am going to recommend iShield 21. God, we are beating around the bush for this chart. So next one, set my timer, 3, 2, 1. We have Slice of Life. Slice of Life, I'm gonna go with... I'm gonna go with Silent Voice. Now personally, I don't have a ton of Slice of Life manga. Now technically, I don't know whether genre-wise this is a slice of life. I know it's definitely a romance, but this is what I would go for that. This is a amazing manga, and the anime is also fantastic, the movie, but there's certain things that you miss with the anime and that has it in the manga. So if you're interested in a little more of the story, I'd recommend the manga, but at the same time, if you don't have it, if you haven't watched either, read either, I definitely recommend the manga too. But the anime also does do the story justice. And basically, if for anyone who doesn't know, the story has to do with our main character, who's at the beginning, he's I believe they're in middle school. He severely bullies this girl who has hearing problems, so she can't hear stuff. She has to use hearing aids and stuff, and he's constantly destroying the hearing aids, just being an absolute menace. And the rest of the story is essentially trying to, they become older, and he realizes how much of a scumbag he was, and it's his journey trying to make up for that. Alrighty, moving on, we have, set my timer, we have music. This is another L. Don't have any music manga, and I'm not just gonna pick out something that I haven't read. So unfortunately, that is a empty block. Next up, we have horror. Uzumaki is probably one of the most well-known horror manga, but I absolutely have to recommend it. I just got it recently, and I loved everything about it. So the story revolves around spirals, and as crazy as that sounds, each chapter is like a new story in this town. It's the most disturbing town that I've ever read about, but and then they all kind of they add up one after the other, and it is continuous. But Junji Ito's Uzumaki, I think, is a bestseller for a reason. So that's what I'm going to go with horror. Oh, we are getting real close. Next one. Oh, got two. We have Yuri. Don't own any Yuri. That's another blank spot. So next we have... Oops, set my timer. Next we have Dark Fantasy. Okay, so she picked Berserk in her video, so I'm not gonna go with Berserk. The Drifting Classroom. This manga right here is incredible, and I haven't talked about it for a little while, but if you have stuck with me for a while, I talked about this a lot in some of my earlier videos. This is a just really interesting manga. Now, it's somewhere in between dark fantasy and horror. So essentially there's a school, elementary school, that ends up sinking into the ground or just kind of vanishing, and there's really no trace of it. But there was this really large kind of earthquake feel within the town, and these kids find themselves in this kind of wild realm. Their entire school was pushed into this realm, and this is super dark. And it all revolves around kids who I think are in the 5th grade and under. And there's just some brutal scenes in this. So if you like dark manga, if you like horror manga, Kazuo Mez is one of the people who Junji Ito looks up to. He's a huge inspiration for Junji Ito, so that's definitely saying something. But this is a fantastic manga. Alrighty, next up we have, set my timer. God, really going through all of them. Fantasy, normal fantasy, Promised Neverland. The Promised Neverland, as popular as it is, it has reason to be popular. This is a fantastic manga. It was one of the first mangas that I bought several of, and that really got me into reading manga. I think this is a really, really interesting story, and for anyone who doesn't know, I mean, this is super popular based on the, the manga and the anime, but for anyone who doesn't know, it revolves around these kids who are in this orphanage, and they can't really leave the orphanage or whatever, and they don't really know what the outside world looks like, and we come to find out the outside world is very, very dark. I'm not going to get into spoilers or anything, but it's very dark, and there's a reason why they can't see it and can't go outside, and it just takes a very, very awesome, crazy turn. So I highly recommend this as another manga with One Punch Man that if you haven't gotten into manga yet, I recommend this as one of the series you start with. I know this could probably count as dark fantasy too, or maybe even slide over to more of a dark fantasy, but this is still a Shonen Jump title, so I don't know, I feel like it could count. So if I had a Yuri, I'd already be finished, but we shall move forward. So next up we have a harem. Real quick, I don't really have anything. Prison School. I don't think this is cheating. I think this is the only thing I have that even comes close to the genre, but I still think this is part of the genre, so we're gonna go with Prison School. For anyone who doesn't know, this manga focuses on, I think, 3 or 4 male high school students who decide to go to a school that was previously all female students, and now they're letting in a couple male students, so it's either 3 or 4 of them, but their principal or headmaster is very, very strict, and they find themselves getting in trouble real quick. This is a very, very funny manga. There is a lot of, I don't know what you call it. I mean, I call it fan service, but I don't think that's technically what it should be called. But it is very, very funny, and not for everyone, but I still think it's not too crazy, over the line when it comes to that kind of stuff. Alrighty, so next one we have, mystery. So with mystery, I'm definitely gonna have to go with Urasawa's Monster. Top 5 manga in my collection. It is unbelievable. So I'm not going to spoil Monster, but Urasawa did such a good job with this story. It follows this doctor who turns basically detective, because he's kind of forced to, but he basically turns into this person who is hunting down this serial killer. The serial killer being someone who, I'm not going to spoil it, but someone who Dr. Tenma has met before. The stuff that happens in this story is just so incredible. It's so well thought out. So I would 100% recommend Urasawa's Monster. But that's it. We got our line finally. I think it took me longer, but we have harem, horror, sports, sci-fi, and mystery. So this was pretty fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed my recommendations and kind of just having to think off the top of my head. I know I don't have the most manga knowledge as some other people, but all my picks I really do recommend. So the people I'm tagging to try out this video and just kind of get creative. Our first person is Base Senpai. Picking him because he has a massive collection, and I'd be really interested to see what his choices are for a lot of these. I have a feeling he's going to be able to get every genre, unlike myself. Next person is ThePromG. ThePromG is someone who I talk to a lot, and he is very into like out-of-print manga and stuff like that, so I'd be really interested to see what his choices are for some of these. I don't think you're going to get the same stuff. I mean, for everyone, I don't think you're going to get the same stuff, but I would be interested. And then the last person is someone who actually has less subscribers than me, and that is JDogGoldman. If anyone is already watching his videos or has subscribed to him, he's a younger manga tuber, but his reviews are really, really good, like really detailed. The way he presents the videos and talks about the manga is really, really interesting. So hopefully this is going to help shine some light onto his channel, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see what his picks are too. So that's been it for this video. Everyone's links will be in the description, as well as hopefully the comments. But yeah, hopefully we can continue this challenge going on, and yeah, that'll be it, so I'll catch you guys later.